Oh hi, I'm Haruka. It's time for a new anime season, and I've done some research on some shows I'd like to talk about, so you know what, let's just get right to, we're bringing back the usual categories. Shows other people like and I probably won't watch, shows I might watch because it looks cool, shows I knew nothing about beforehand but am now very interested in, dumb shit I will watch because I am that guy, and the shows I'm actually really interested in and am suggesting to you to watch. So let's jump right into it. Shows other people like, the sequels. Shadow's House Season 2. I didn't talk about it when the first season came out and I was seriously considering adding it back then, but it just sort of ended up not in that video. I even got a comment on the video about it. I didn't see the first season, but I've heard it's an interesting blend of mystery and slice of life. So if you didn't know about the show, I mean, you could check out the first season and you should know that it was good enough to get a second season. So I don't know, they don't hand those out very often. They kind of do, actually. Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. I am not reading the Japanese name because I apparently decided not to write it down. I'm not really personally familiar with Made in Abyss, but I know a lot of people love it. If you've been waiting for even more of this show, here it is. They even brought back the lad Kevin Pankin to do the music again. RWBY. The question of whether or not RWBY is an anime has finally been solved as the legendary and cool as hell anime studio Shaft is making the anime created by a man from Rhode Island. And while you can say what you want about the quality of the show itself, Monty Ohm officially wrote an anime that is being made by Shaft. I don't know much about the show itself, and it doesn't really seem like my kind of thing, but I do feel it's important to point out the fact that this has now happened. It seems like this is essentially a reboot or a remake of the original series, but, made by an actual anime studio. Shows I'll probably pay attention to. Sequels. Kanojo Okarishimasu Season 2. Kanokari as a manga has gotten to the point where I'm ready to start a fight with mangaka Reiji Miyajima, just name the place and, find me a plane ticket or something to get there, and I'll go one-on-one. But all the annoying stuff is very far out in the future if the series keeps getting adapted, and this specific season should be fun. I don't exactly remember which arc it's on, but I do hope it gets to the movie arc because that's actually really cool and interesting. After that, it goes pretty damn downhill. Tokyo Mew Mew Mew. So apparently they're doing a remake of the early 2000s classic Tokyo Mew Mew. It's a magical girl. You probably know the story if you've seen the original, and if you've heard of it, you probably know of it. So, hey. New Mew, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. So the very fact that this exists confuses me greatly. Personally, I've already sold my soul to this game back in the day when I thought that the player customization would actually be a whole lot more robust, and that the world would actually load well enough so that my car doesn't explode when I try to go into a parking garage. But I think I have a decent enough understanding of the world of Cyberpunk, so I might watch it. They also got Studio Trigger, which might be the most accidentally perfect pairing with Cyberpunk 2077. Shows I know nothing about, but kind of want to watch. Isekai Oji-san. So the protagonist's uncle is basically Gakudo from prison school, and he's been in a coma for about 17 years. Turns out in the coma he was actually in an isekai world, and he might have brought back some of his powers. I don't really know. I'm confused as to what the rules of this show are, but what I do know is that it's going to be just a massive otaku fest. And you know what? The old man is gonna get absolutely clapped by the modern world. Teppen with a whole lot of exclamation marks. You know what, I don't know if it has as many exclamation marks as Keijo, but we'll go with it. Some girls go to a comedy camp. For some reason, no one's actually read this manga, but I think that this has a chance to become the next Yoshiraku. It's just gonna be a bunch of comedy, some gag humor, that sort of thing. They're gonna tell some jokes. It's about comedy, they're gonna tell jokes. That's what's gonna happen, and hopefully it's as fun as Yoshiraku. Yurei Deko. I'm going to call this out as the official sleeper hit of the season. No one knows anything about this show. It's an original, and the director's a rookie. But that means nothing coming from Science Saru Studio. Visually, it looks interesting. The premise of a couple girls teaming up to explore what is essentially the metaverse is interesting, and there's a possibility for Yuri, which is always a plus. Dumb shit I will read because I am that guy. Mama haha no tsurego ga motokano datta. Y'all remember the setup to Domestic Kanojo, right? Guy has a crush on his teacher, fucks a random girl he met to forget about her, but it turns out his new stepsisters are the teacher and the girl he fucked. Well, this just sort of speedruns that. These two dated in middle school but broke up, but then their parents married, and now they have to try and not have feelings for each other all over again now that they're forced to live in one house. And they kind of make a game out of it where they're trying to make the other person act up first so that the other person is the one who gets kicked out and not them. Project number 9 has been on an absolute tear recently. After a few stutter steps going into 2020, they've come out of that year with some bangers. Their 2021 anime was top tier. Jakukara Tomazaki-kun needs a video at some point, and I gave Higehiro a 10 for how amazing the melodrama of it was. And they're already coming in hot this year with Koiseka, which has already gotten a lot of acclaim. So while this may be dumb shit, it's being made by a studio that knows how to turn it into transcendent trash. Isekai Meikyu de Haramuo. This show has ecchi on the label, so I'm just gonna watch it without even looking at the description. But for you guys, I'll give you what it sounds like. It seems like it's just an isekai protagonist with the cheat ability to get incredibly hot women, you know, the normal stuff. It's from the studio Passione, which made Interspecies Reviewers, Rail Wars, and the surprisingly horny Miyaruko-chan. Yep, I'll see all you degenerates in the comment section. I'll be there too. Oh god, this is a long one. Kinso no Vermeil. Why do I keep thinking of Dick Vermeil? Kinsu no Vermeil, Gakepuchi, Majutsushi wa Saikyo no Yakusai to Maho Sekai wo Tsukisusumu. This kid at a magic academy accidentally summons the most powerful demon as his familiar. She's a rather large and sexy One-sama, and in order to give her the magical power she needs throughout the day, she requires kiss. She needs kiss. It sounds a lot like Hidden Dungeon, where the dude gets special powers from horny situations, and it's also the first full anime from Staple Entertainment. Their only other anime is a hentai that just finished airing, and their lead seiyuu in that was the same woman who voiced Minore Koda. Damn, I got a video about her. Shows I'm actually very interested in, and I'm suggesting to you, the audience. There's one sequel here, Haruka Maou-sama Season 2. This is the highly anticipated sequel season to Devil as a Part-Timer, the reverse isekai where the Demon King works at McDonald's now. Oops, McRonald's I mean. It has literally been almost a decade since the first season, and since then, love for this anime has grown, especially in the communities that are tired of the ever-growing isekai genre. I still haven't seen the first season, but I've heard a hell of a lot about this show to the point that people have insisted that it is one of the best isekais ever made. And now it's got a new season. Still no second seasons for No Game No Life because you don't deserve it. Shoot gold to the future. And in more shows coming back from the dead, this is apparently the sequel to a series made in 1993. It looks to sort of be like Major Second, where it's both a remake and a continuation of the old story. Look, I just want a good soccer anime. It's so hard for me to find, but I really want it. And the old show has some decent ratings. The manga from back in 1990 has decent ratings. I just hope that EMT Squared is gonna actually do something good. The only thing they've made is Kuma 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 Bear and then a bunch of trash. Yofukashi no Uta. Well, I did already call my shot on the sleeper hit of the season. This is the one sleeper that I'm actually sort of interested in actually like watching. A boy struggles to sleep, so he starts hanging out with a vampire girl. At least I think she's a vampire. The Mal page says that the category is vampire, so I mean, I didn't know that was a category. All the signs point to this being an actually nice and soothing show, so I'm on board. There seems to be a little bit of everything in there, and the cast is pretty stacked with Sora Amamiya leading the line, and the director did a lot of work on the Monogatari series, so, you know, this has some pretty nice pedigree behind it as well. And finally, Saikin Yatota Maid ga Ayashi. From the mangaka that brought you Jahi-sama, Big Titty Yuri, and My Crush is My Sugar Mommy, it's a show about a tan maid teasing a young boy. Because of course that's what this is about. I am not fully familiar with the story itself. I've actually only read Jahi-sama to a point, but I am caught up on the Yuri manga they wrote. Look, this is just going to be the one show that everyone's watching for memes, fun, and generally horny stuff. We're here for a good time, and I think that a lot of people will enjoy it. And that's it. I hope you can find your way to a show that you will actually watch and continue to watch for the duration of the season. That's becoming something that is more and more rare for me. And I'm just looking for the right level of show, and I think that this season has a few of those. This video is actually sponsored by Lucky Cat Sticker Company. Go buy some damn stickers. Slap them on your laptop, slap them on your car, slap them on your own face. I don't care. Go to luckycatsclub.com and enter the code JOCK for 15% off. That's JOCK JOCK for 15% off at luckycatsclub.com. Link in the description. Thank you.